Hello everybody and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, where you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. We're finally diving into one of the EVTOLs, and I thought we would start off with the coolest one that's in the sim currently. This is the Archer Midnight. And I mean, right off the bat you can see how cool this thing is. I love the unique designs of it, especially with aviation getting very, very bland in design, so I'm all for it. And the whole point of this video is we're going to be going through the checklist. We're also going to showcase how to fly the aircraft, because it can feel a bit daunting when you're first starting out and it's like, I don't know what's going on, and that's why we're doing it. So you'll be able to be proficient in this, especially once the career missions become available for these eVTOLs. And after flying this one, I'm very much looking forward to those missions. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the inside of this aircraft. First things first, I just want to shout out to Archer and Asobo for making me a custom aircraft. I'm just kidding. just the tail number inside, which looks really cool. I love those types of details. And of course, you got the seats here, which look like they just came out of a spaceship. It's like a mix of a spaceship and a racing seat, because they have like a bucket look going on. But either way, look very comfortable and sleek. I mean, just before we get to the cockpit, what a view you have out of this thing, from the passengers to the cockpit. Looks so cool. But anyways, before we get too distracted, make our way around the single-seater cockpit, where you'll notice we have two sticks and a relatively simple cockpit, nothing too over the top. And since this is an eVTOL, it's going to be a pretty simple checklist, I would imagine. It's not going to be, yeah, it's a whopping 9 things pretty much. So we'll start with the powered lift switch, which we are going to have on for our VTOL takeoff we're about to do. So that's already defaulted to on. Aircraft mode switch to fly, which we'll have to move up a little bit because it's just behind this left stick. And before we do set it to fly, I want to set it to ground, because there's a couple things I want to showcase off this aircraft before we get up into the air. So we're going to go ahead and continue that screen. The rightmost button is the sim rate, or the sim options. We're going to plug in our charger, which you can have set to realistic timing for recharging, or you can go all the way up to 32 times on the recharge rate. So if you just want to get flying again really quick, you can do so. And then doors, we're going to go ahead and open all those. And let's pop outside again. Check this out, all our doors are open, our battery card is out, providing the coolant and the charging capabilities. I'm assuming the coolant is there because of the rapid recharge rate that the battery can go under. So that way it keeps it from going crazy. But yeah, here we go. It's all there's actually a lot of details to this aircraft. I think Flight FX did a great job with the entire plane. And one of my other favorite things that they did is regarding the walkaround feature. This is the only plane I've ever seen this actually be a thing, and I want it to be a thing for every plane. So, as you know, anytime you take off anything from the walkaround feature, it's gone forever. You can't put it back on when you land. But with this one, you can put it back on. So shout out to Flight FX for actually making that possible. I know a lot of people don't like the walk-around feature. I don't care. I love it. So the fact that you can put the stuff back on after a flight is really cool, and I'd love to see more developers utilize that, because that's just an awesome little detail there. So just thought it was worth a mention. Another last look at the doors all open. I mean, what a cool plane as I get stuck under the wing there. Love it. So now that we showed that off, we're going to go ahead and close those doors. Unplug the charger. And we'll just pop back into the checklist. Not too much left to do, because once we set this to fly mode, it's going to go through a couple tests, which you'll see here. So from ground mode to fly mode. We have the FCS pre-flight test going on, and then after that it's going to go into the tilter propeller system check. I was so late on that, but anyways, I was trying to get a cool shot of it. Perfect, both tests are done and completed. Transponder is on, the doors are closed, nav lights are not on. We're going to head to the MFD for that. Aircraft systems, external lights, and we're going to go ahead and just turn all the lights on. Done, done, and done, and then the parking brake off. And just like that, we are already done. Just really simple, to the point. One of the perks of having an EVTOL. So if everybody's buckled in, we are ready for takeoff. We're going to be using an Xbox controller for this. You can use a peripheral, but for me, similar to the helicopters, I just think it's a lot easier to fly these things with a controller as opposed to a regular flight stick. So just thought I'd let you know. So to take off from here, it's not going to be A or B like it typically is to increase or decrease speed. We're going to be using the left stick and pulling that towards us. So if we just pull back on that. Already up in the air. Listen how quiet this thing is. And then if we go full power. Up in the air in no time at all. Very awesome. So we're going to go up to about 6,500 feet, and once we get there, bring that power back. Perfect. And right off the bat, we're already in immediate hover mode. We're not having to do anything or tweak anything. Just such a fun aircraft to fly around in. Looks so cool seeing all the props doing their thing. Archer, if you could bring this to like an air show in Colorado or something, that would be pretty sweet. I'm just telling you that because I want to see this in person. It's so cool. Alright, so we're going to put in a little right on the left stick. Turn off those blue arrows down there, we don't need that. So still in hover mode, we're going to gain a little bit more altitude if I hit the right button first. Which again is pulling back on the left stick. If you want to go down, you'll be pushing up on the left stick, which we'll go into all that, of course, as we make our way through the video. Perfect. Next up is we are going to hold left click on this, and then right click to toggle hover mode. So we're disabling it, because what's going to happen now is we're going to go to the A and B buttons like we normally do to increase our power. So holding A, you're going to notice, here, let's watch it from inside. Our props are going to start pulling forward. And once they're fully set, excellent. We're going to go ahead and increase our power. It has a cruise speed of 120 knots, so we'll sit about 110. So I'm going to let go of A, and you'll notice it automatically goes into a speed hold. You don't have to do any other buttons for it, and that's just how it's set up. It also will level out at an altitude for you, which is great, especially with Sim Update 3's beta build, which has broken the autopilot. So, and once you reach over 80 knots, the vertical props will shut down. They'll form up with the rest of the bodywork, and you'll just be running on, like, basically a regular airplane at this point. So, I think what we'll do is enjoy some views of Lake Tahoe from Showcase Cam. There is not a single bad view out of the interior of this thing, and it's so nice because once we have those career missions for, I think it's passenger transport and stuff too. I'm not really sure what it's going to be once we get that, but whatever it is, I'm all for it. And then of course just bringing this into free flight and enjoying the views of wherever you're flying around in. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to beat what the Archer brings here. So we're cruising at a nice cruise altitude of 9,600 feet at about 110 knots. Because even putting it in a bank like this, it'll pretty much hold that for as long as the battery's going. It'll keep your altitude, it'll keep your speed. So I mean, if you're just trying to do like world photographer mode or something like that, I guess you have to be in specific aircraft. Well, anyways, just taking pictures of cool things. So leaving Lake Tahoe, we're going to head over to Kilo Charlie X-Ray Papa Airport over here, and we'll demonstrate a VTOL landing. Which I believe I forgot some. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We don't need the powered lift right now, but we're going to turn that on again once we get closer to our airport. So we'll have to focus on this, and of course, the LHI thumbstick to toggle hover mode. So then that way, when we decrease the power, the plane knows we're wanting to go into the VTOL mode, and it'll bring those props up, and should have a nice, graceful little landing. I haven't said much, and I don't know how. I've just been looking at the awesome area around Lake Tahoe here. Really cool, and I'm really hoping this video helps out, so if you've been looking for something to kind of get the basic understanding of how to fly this thing, hopefully this video has helped you out on that. Because, I mean, as much as I'm looking forward to heavy cargo, I'm also looking forward to the EVTOL stuff, too. Because those are going to be very fun missions. I mean, even doing this for like a search and rescue operation, it'd be cool to see this type of stuff utilized for it as well. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be. You know, just have something other than a helicopter all the time. It's just like, you know what? I'm going to have my VTOL capabilities come into play. We're still making our way over to that airport I was talking about. We're almost there now. Oh, yeah, we're going the wrong way. Never mind, hang on. We're definitely almost there. And this is the side effect of enjoying the view outside of your aircraft and not paying attention to anything else. Yeah, there's the airport. So let's go ahead and bring this power back. We'll head to about 90 knots. A little bit more. Perfect. We'll get our descent going. There's a nice town around here. Look at this. They've definitely got some lovely views around. Mountains everywhere. A short drive to Lake Tahoe. Nothing beats a 3D photogrammetry. Like, it just adds so much to the world as opposed to just random AI buildings. But anyways, it's time to focus, folks. So we're going to go ahead and enable our power lift again. Not that we need it just yet, but those will engage once we get, I believe, below 80 knots. Similar to how they shut off once we get over that, so I think it's the same on the opposite side there. It's so weird how it just holds whatever position you put it in, and then just keeps holding. Like, you don't have to put any minor inputs in there. It's like, oh, you want this left bank? No problem. Because it's also holding our descent, which is really cool. It's the best of both worlds. It has cool tech with it, and it looks unique. Both things I very much approve of. So let's go ahead and engage hover mode. And then I'll try to have the screen here so you can see the speed we're at. Well, oh crap, hang on. Here we go, perfect. So once you see this get below 80, I'm pretty sure our vertical props are gonna start up. This is gonna start pointing up as well. We'll keep our forward momentum for now, but then eventually we'll bring those all the way up so we can just lower ourselves down. So let's go ahead and bring this back. Oh, it was actually 90 knots. So that kicked on in. We're going to keep bringing it back. So under 80 knots, you can see our props in the front are starting to angle as we get to a slower speed. I think we'll stick around 70 knots. That way we keep our forward momentum still going while also still decreasing our altitude. And let's see, where do we want to land this thing here? I guess maybe we'll go for... No, let's go for this... Oh, no, let's go here. Little gravel area, kick up some dirt. And just have a nice landing from that. So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could just go hover mode right here and then just lower yourself. But I think we'll just kind of keep doing a little orbit and descend this way. Because you will be in the air for a little bit if you want to just descend full VTOL from this altitude we're currently at. Is that a heli? Or what is that? Is that a tug? Oh no, it's the fuel pumps. Okay. It just looked really weird for me. I was like, I don't know what that is. Alright, gonna bring that power back a bit more. We'll line up final for our approach to that little gravel area we were talking about earlier, which you can see is right here.
Traffic, 1 o'clock, same altitude, 1 mile.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Thank you. Oh yeah, I see it on here too. Nice. We're out of their way. Just scoot up a little bit more. We're going to do this from outside so you can see it fully doing its thing. Now we're going to push forward on the left stick, which is going to lower us nice and gracefully to the ground. Oh, we got floating rocks. I regret coming here already. Unbelievable. And there we go. In Floating Rock, California. We just landed our EVTOL in VTOL mode. How cool is that? Alright, I had one of the workers tow us over here. I didn't want to sit next to those floating rocks, so... But cool, so... Let's go ahead and set this to ground. Open up all our doors. Get that battery plugged in. Our passengers offloaded. And then we'll be ready for our next flight. And there we have it, folks. The EVTOL from Archer. The Midnight EVTOL is just... If you haven't flown it yet, I highly recommend diving into it. It's just a very fun experience that I think a lot of you are going to be enjoying. Plus, it just looks cool. Love having all these doors open, our little battery cart rolled up and charging away. I really have no complaints about it. Just hoping we don't have to wait too long for those VTOL missions to arrive in career mode. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. See ya.